Hello, I'm V-Shing from DBS. Welcome to my video. After creating 4 hardware video switcher review, I realized that none of them completely achieve high ranking in the target workflow list, especially the growth potential list. This happens because I review only reasonable cost switcher, which I have to limit it to 4 channel switcher, which is also categorized as the entry level type of switcher. 4 channels switcher means 4 input. This means that you are limited to 2 to 3 cameras or 1 or 2 computer input. That also means that you are limited to shooting 2 or 3 person in the video. With production like weddings, church Sunday sermon, corporate video, schools videos, that is limited shooting for 2 person, 2 or 3 person. None of the 4 products that I review, Blackmagic A10, Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro, Datavideo SE-1200 HD and Datavideo SE-1200 is designed for long-term expansion. To expand the switch that you have buy, like I mentioned, that 4 switcher, you need to replace it totally with a bigger channel input, or you supplement it by buying another switcher. The switcher by itself is limited. This make me create a new video on a hardware switch that have a better growth potential. But I have to ignore the reasonable cost factor. The first switcher that I choose to review is Datavideo SE-1200. 1200. Datavideo SE-1200 comes with 2 different packages. Package number 1 is called Datavideo SE-1200 MU. It means that it's just the switcher main unit. To control the thing, you need to connect to a router, whether you're using a Wi-Fi or not. Then from there, connect to the computer or tablet to control the switch. This makes the SE-1200 MU in more reasonable price category. The second package is SE-1200 with RMC-260. RMC-260 is the control panel for SE-1200. Together, it makes it more complete and more hardware usage. Unfortunately, the price rose up by 2,000 plus. Okay, based on my target workflow list, the first thing I need to talk about is the source. Datavideo SE-1200 have 4 SDI, 2 HDMI, which is able to support sufficient for my target workflow. So if you notice it, I give quite a high ranking for SE-1200 because you have a lot of input, 6 input. Best of all, 4 of them is SDI. In my previous video, I already indicate how supportive I am for SDI cables. SDI connection. Why? Because it's more robust and it can carry signal longer than HDMI. The other thing that created a very high ranking is because the audio input is two balanced XLR audio. This is another cable that I'm very supportive. I strongly encourage you to use it because XLR audio input, also called balanced input, biggest advantage is clean sound. Plus, it can run longer than a normal audio cable that you're using. For example, the mini jack or the RCA. Single cable length of a XLR audio cable can go as long as 60 meters. Whereas for the cable that you usually use, the mini jack or the RCA cable, it can go to 3 to 5 meters long. So that's why I'm a great fan of balanced XLR audio. This switcher have it. This switcher will give you, because of a balanced audio, it gives you cleaner audio for the longer distance. That's why I give quite high ranking for it. The next in my list is Target. Datavideo SE-1200 have 2 SDI and 2 HDMI output. Of course, one of the HDMI, called HDMI 2, is reserved for multi-viewer. So in other words, you basically have 3 output to utilize. I have told you before, I'm a great fan of SDI. So SDI allowed me to pull the cable further away. Though these 3 output, SDI 1, SDI 2, HDMI 1, can be used for program out or assignable like individual channel. Clean program. Clean program means that this output is program output but without title and logo. I can even do program out with logo but without titling. This switcher allows you to set this setting output. Why you need this setting output? For example, the clean program. Clean program, I can utilize it for my recorder to record the clean feed. The original feed without titling, without logo. So I can use this for future use, for future editing. If I recorded with the logo, with the title on top of it, if I need to utilize it later or use it later to cut it for other purposes, these two is appear in my recorded video. But if I set my recorder without title, without logo, that means I'm recording a clean program which allows me to utilize this for my future video production. This is very nice. This 3 output is also means that I have more choice. Like I can send one to a live pro streaming. That means I can send it together with my titling, with my logo, whatever I want, or picture. It will go out, go to the streaming. Then I can send another to projector, which I decided I'll send this just the individual channel, because in the event they don't need to see the picture, they don't need to see the titling, they just want to see the video. Then to the recorder, like earlier I give you an example, a clean recording that allows you to help you for your future video production. I can do all this with just 3 output at the same time. This is very nice. That's why I give a very high ranking for this target list. The only thing preventing to achieve a full 5-star is because SE-1200 do not have built-in live streaming features. But like I mentioned in my previous video, you can easily use HDMI to USB capture devices like Datavideo SE-1200 as a webcam signal to the software encoder like OBS to stream out. Or you can use the external streaming devices like Datavideo NVS33. As for easy to use, SE-1200 also achieved a very high ranking for it, as long as you use the RMC260, because everything is on top of it. The switcher, main unit, and the control panel is like, so you on both of them, you are ready. And it's all on the button, so it's quite straightforward to use it as it is. If you use a computer way to access it, yes, you still can do it. But bear in mind, the person must on one more thing, make sure the router is on, the computer is on, then they can talk to each other, then they go in. So the process is longer, but it's basically the same, because when you open the interface on the computer for SE-1200, it has the same interface as like the one on the control panel. So easy to learn. I give a quite high ranking, but I didn't give a full 5-star because the choice of you have to use between a computer or a hardware. The hardware by itself, hardware control panel is very easy. Computer, I can say reasonable easy, but there's more steps that the person need to learn. Growth potential, this switch have very high growth potential. Why? Because you have 6 input. 6 input also means that I can start with a small 2-person to 3-person event. When I need to expand to bigger, like a singing event or a concert that have more than maybe 5 and more people in there, I have no problem adding more cameras. And I also no problem to add on computer into it. So that's why growth potential is very high, because it supported both simple events to more complex events. That is why I also give a very high rating for it. As for cost, I only give 2-star ranking, because if you compare to the 4 video switcher that I have reviewed, I can talk about it, the price factor is quite big. But you are buying for the features, you are buying for the capability of able to handle bigger event. SE-1200 MU, just the main unit, it costs RM 8,000 ringgit. If you're included with the RMC 260, the total cost will be 10,700.